Okay, folks, this is the most famous outboard on my channel for its number of views per se, but this is the Johnson 99 with the big secret. The big secret being it's a 15 horse, always has been since its birth. But I just noticed, this is interesting, a ground that I forgot to put a nut on. Back to the, no. I doubt that's caused me my problem. It's possible. But anyway, people have said something about the gearbox with the extension I put on it down here on the floor, this one right here, that, oh, some of those may not have, you know, the exhaust might be blocked. Well, I pulled it back off. I thought I knew it wasn't blocked, but now I know without a doubt it is not blocked. This thing's got holes that you can dump gallon buckets worth of water through with ease. It's going to breathe just fine. But I did also realize the one thing I have never checked on this outboard is the electronics, the module. So I bought one. You know, the power pack, I guess they call it. I'm sorry, it's the power pack. So I bought a brand new power pack. This is still looks like original to the outboard. And could this have been my culprit all along? Yes, the carburetor leaking could have been one thing, but the way this thing was bogging and dying, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse every time I work on it, leads me to believe that, you know, I don't know why it didn't dawn on me. I'm looking at this going, after I've done everything else, everything has been touched on this thing pretty much. I didn't look at the, you know, the power pack. So we're gonna put the gearbox back on. We're gonna put the new power pack on and see if that solves the problem. Because, like I said, from day one, this thing has not run the way it should run since I've got it. But I think this might be the juicy secret. Stay tuned. We're going to get there in your time momentarily and my time over the next week or so, because I'll be putting this on, testing it in the tank, taking it to the lake, running it behind the Good Enough John boat, and then if that all tests out really good, then I'm going to do something else with it. But stay tuned, more to come. This is just, I'm solving mysteries one outboard at a time. Oh my goodness. All right, stay, we'll be right back. Might have to hold this choke closed manually, but I'm just gonna give it a few yanks as is and see what it does. I pumped the primer bulb up. Plenty of fuel there, I think. I got fuel coming out of the front of the carb. Should be popping off easier than that, I think. Oh, come on, what's going on? Well, not even a kick, really? Lots and lots of good spark. Time for Michael's Backyard Marina Confessional. I hate to even admit this, but I'd be doing everybody on my channel that watches it a disservice if I didn't bring it up. Okay, I've been speculating, suspecting, wondering what's going on with this outboard since the day I got it. Let's just call it March or April of 2020. And, you know, I went over to get the guy I bought it from, put it on muffs, ran it. Didn't rev it up, but ran it. You know, I'm like, okay, it's running good, I'll take it. Since that day, I had plans to put this on the Banana, which later turned out, I know this isn't enough horsepower because I'm not completely happy with a 35 horse on that Banana. I want 50 on it, which I have over there. Well, as you saw, before the camera so rudely overheated and turned off on me last night, I was pulled on that thing so much that if I try to, I can't even, this here, look at that, easy. A lot of, from pulling on that thing. The elbow's a little tired today, but it'll heal, it'll get stronger. Wouldn't start, wouldn't even kick. And I'm like, what is going on here? I pulled the spark plug several times, spun it over with a drill even to see if I can get it to kick. Check the spark on it, got good spark. And the confession is, I broke one of my 3 rules on messing with an outboard. Compression, spark, fuel. I don't think I've ever checked compression on this thing. I'd have to go back and watch some of the beginning videos of this particular outboard to see if I did, but I checked the compression last night. And you saw, all the running that this thing's done has been just barely running to almost running to is it running situations. And the top cylinder has 15 pounds of compression. The bottom cylinder has 110. Well, if you don't have any compression, you also don't have enough pull to pull fuel into the cylinder. And they both kind of work together in that, respect. So I'm hoping it's a blown head gasket. But that's why this thing has never ran right from day one. Even with a leaky carburetor, it should have ran better than it did. Even with a different carburetor, it only ran a little bit better, but it was still running on basically one cylinder. It didn't really give the sound or indication that it was running on one cylinder because the other cylinder was making something with 15 pounds, but not a lot. So we're pulling the head off this thing tonight. And we're going to take a look at it. And like I said, this thing has never been overheated, hot. I mean, the paint on this is still in like brand new condition. Typically what I've seen, if they get hot, the paint will actually start to change color from basically this part of the power head to the head. We'll have a fading effect type of thing. On black, on white, it's really easy because you can see it like turn almost to a mocha tan type thing. But yeah, this one, we're going into the head now next, and I'll bring you guys along for the journey. But the chapter of this thing continues to move forward. I'm just looking to see what all I got to take loose to take the head off. Looks like I'll undo the coil packs to get them out of my way. And spark plugs are already out of it. And once that's out of the way, looks like this little wire harness here. But we're going to bring you in close. I'm going to lock you down on time lapse, and we're going to pull it off, see what we can find. Unbelievable. I am so, you guys have no idea how disappointed I am in myself for not discovering this a whole lot sooner. Yeah, that's pretty awful of me. Now, the cracked bowl on the carburetor and the cracked top plate on the carburetor, those are real things. But they weren't, I don't feel, real enough to cause, you know, they couldn't you know, obviously 15 pounds of compression is not going to overcome anything. But I never even thought about it. I cannot believe that. I guess if there was anything good to take away from this whole thing is I'm going to have a power pack that probably wasn't bad. I got a carburetor that probably is not bad, which I know is not bad. And, you know, I'll be able to take another 9.9 and convert it to a 15 horse without even blinking an eye or spending any more money. I've already spent all the monies, as it were. Now, if I go in there and find out that let's just say the cylinder is completely destroyed, this becomes a pretty neat old parts motor real quick, and I've got a couple other 9.9s that are just chomping at the bit to work for me. All right. Gonna kind of just take this out of the way here. We'll just set it, I don't know, somewhere over here. There you go. Just sit tight, buddy. We'll be back with you in a minute. So I got the coil packs removed and just kind of, you know, hanging out there. We got one bolt here that's on the thermostat housing. It's got wiring hooked to it. We'll pull that out and I'll put that bolt right back in. Looks like one of the motor mounts, I'm gonna get you in a little tighter here. So now I'm gonna take this motor mount nut loose that I just tightened back up last night. We'll get that loose and out of the way. It looks like we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bolts to take loose. Oops, I'm trying to get you in here a little closer. So yeah, we're gonna take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then hopefully this power head or not power head, but the head comes right off. What size are these? Appears to be 1/2 inchers. Well, good news is the cylinder walls feel good. But this gasket looks a little eroded. Yeah, you can definitely see right here, that piece of metal is gone right there. So definitely got a head gasket issue here. Son of a gun. Well, there won't be too much on this old girl I haven't touched by the time it's all said and done. Yeah, that chunk going right there. The other bad part is that chunk there being gone would let water get in there. Yeah, we're gonna have to spray that bad boy down with some WD. If there's any water that might have got in there, I want to be able to yeah, that's looking kind of. I think I'm going to go ahead and tilt her down. Okay. Supper's done. Yippee. Well, sure enough, it's a blown head gasket. Yep. Okay, folks. One last confessional, I think. I don't know. We're back out here. Let me show you what we're working on. Move over to a box. We got the, where's it at here? Right there. We got the 9.9 with the, it's no secret. But, you know, I thought that I had not checked compression on this engine when I first got it. I went back and I've reviewed all my videos that I've done on this particular outboard, and there has been a few. And I have discovered that I did check compression. That is one of the first things I checked in part one, and both cylinders had 90 PSI. Now, the strange part is the same gauge I'm checking it with, let's call it 3 years later, I had 15 in the top and 110 in the bottom. But as you can see, I've got it right here. Here's the old gasket. I'm not sure what all the blue stuff is on it. I don't know if that was a gasket sealant that somebody had put on it. But as you can see right here, it's just, this was totally destroyed in this area. This ring was no longer sealing, and this big gap right here was in there, which is letting water get into the cylinder, and that would just kill it. Now, the crazy part is I did go back, and after I watched these videos over again, realized I had it running, and I had it running pretty, what I'd call pretty well in the tank. And it was island starting, pulled easy, started good, run good. Then carburetor things, cracked carburetors come into play. And then thought it was the power pack. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the power pack at all. But then, you know, this thing hasn't had, if it's had 40 minutes or 30 minutes or somewhere in that range worth of running on it, on a boat, since I had it, I would be surprised, because I know the first time I took it out and actually have video footage of me pushing the old banana with it, going about 12 miles an hour, because it just all it would do, because that tri-hull needs a little more oomph to get it up on plane than this 15 horse could offer. And it then the carburetor started leaking. Who knows? I've been playing this back in my head over and over, driving myself crazy. And I don't know that I've got it 100% sorted out, but I do know that I have touched everything on this dang thing. Now there's basically almost a bolt, other than splitting the case in half, there's not bolts on this that I have not touched. And then to discover that this head gasket had taken a poo-poo on me blew my mind. This first time I've seen head gaskets blown, obviously, but this one, if you look down, it's not going to do me good to show you up close with the camera. It's hard to see, but there is still crosshatch in these cylinders. The cylinders still look beautiful. So, and I want you to hear this too, because this thing has some good. Now there's no head on it, mind you. Let's get you right in here. Now there's no head on it, but listen to you can hear the reed valves. They're doing a pop, 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 pop thing like they're supposed to. Now you guys are probably going, don't run that dry. No, I put a lot of 2-stroke lube in these cylinders now to make sure when it goes back together, it's not dry. Now I've read on a couple of forums that I was looking at the tightening torques on these, and this only has 6 head bolts. That's it. It's as simple as they come, pretty much. But I've checked everything for flat. It's in good condition. As you can see with the old gasket here, when this used to be on it like this, so just like that, you can see where this would have been leaking into the top cylinder, losing compression. Water can get right in there. As soon as it started pumping water up through the water jacket, it would just put water right down into the cylinder walls and all that fun stuff. At a high speed, this thing could have possibly hydrolocked. But we got our new gasket here. I think some people would put gasket sealant on it and different things like that. I'm gonna let the gasket do its job because that's what I'm paying it to do. And then I've got the head completely cleaned up on this thing, so she looks all pretty and clean and new. Looks like all the head bolts are the exact same length with one another. This one's got to kind of go down. These two have to be in place, kind of in there before you kind of got to do this, is what I'm saying. And then they can sneak down in here because you kind of line up. Let's see here. This is going to be. I got a stud right here that this has got to go onto. And let's this up. This is kind of a. Let's go. Here we go. Trying to make sure head gaskets and stuff all, line up where they're supposed to, just loosely here. Come on. My goal is to get this back together tonight and see if she runs, and then we'll put her on the good enough John boat and see if we can make it do the happy little, let's just call it the happy running dance, right? Okay, first thing I'm going to do is tighten it down to 10 foot-pounds, which is 120 inch-pounds on my inch-pound wrench here. And it's like number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we'll go back around again. So there's that. All right, heads on, fully torqued. Nice thing is we can check compression right away before we put plugs in it and hook all the electronics back up, stuff like that. 0. This is upper cylinder test. I can already tell you that feels better. 100. We got compression again. Just over 100, 105. That'll play. Compression back, baby. Now we can bolt some of our hardware back down again. Get this thing back in the tank and see if it runs. Goodness. Beautiful spark on both. All right, plugs back in then, baby. Alrighty, we got 2 out of the 3. We got compression. We got spark. Now we gotta stick some fuel to it. And only place I'm gonna do that. Let's drop her back in the test tank and see if we can get our light off. And run. If she lights off and runs, we're taking her to the lake tomorrow. I'm excited. It better freaking run. Alright guys, you guys are used to me not lying to you, so I'm not gonna lie to you, ever. I have nothing to hide or protect. But, so I put this on, put it in here, and I held the choke manually because I didn't have the air box back on yet. So I held the choke manually and I literally pulled it 3 times after pumping up the bulb, and it fired off and flipping idled. And that's no joke. And now that I got the air box back on, choke in place, all the knobs are in place, watch this. Runs like a top. Put it in gear. This thing rock and rolls now, baby. You know what that means? I'm going to the lake tomorrow. Woo! Love it when a plan comes together. Thermostat's working, pumping oil like it should. One little thing, this thing is like a brand new motor. We're just gonna let it sit here and run and make sure it's gonna run. right, guys and gals and everybody in between. Way back over there, there it is. That's Sandy Beach recreational area, boat ramp, and guess what? This is the farthest this John boat has been away from that ramp since I've got it in the water. And this is the 4th time in the water. If you've been following my channel for a minute, you will know that the Mercury has been an epic pain in my rear. Thinking and found out it's actually, I think it's a gearbox. But let's check it out. The Johnson 99 with the big secret. Let's just be honest, it's no secret anymore. It's a 15 horse with a 99 hood on it. It was born and bred a 15 horse. So no crazy things there, but I've done a lot of talk about, 99 to 15 horse conversions. We got this running last night, as you saw, and now, baby, watch this. I want you to see this. Come on, there we go. Once she gets tacked out, here we go. Yep, getting up on plane. Change some things up here real quick. My son's trying to drive a drone on the front of the boat, and by golly, it's bouncing a lot. He goes, it's not drone friendly. So he moved back to the middle seat here, and it's put a lot of boat in the water back here, so I'm going to drop the trip head down 1 notch. Dropping it down, I'll push the nose down just the weight's at the back of the boat and I'm plowing less. Let's see if it rides a little better now. Yeah, about the same. Smoke, baby. Be a good time to close out here. The clouds are starting to come in. Looks like we timed it just right. It rained all night. We got a lot of rain last night. We had a break in the weather. It looked like about 4 or 5 hours. It's just afternoon now. The only problem I've had with this so far is I actually had it tilted up for about, what, an hour? Yeah, about an hour. and I didn't run any fuel out or anything, and when I set it back down, it didn't want to start too easy, but then I learned pretty quickly, pulled the choke, gave her a couple pulls, she kicked and fired and cleared out, just because all the fuel that was in there, but it's doing really good. I mean, it starts, I mean, this thing here, it's like, yeah, this is my weak arm. It's running, that's right, that just happened. That's like throwing a ball left-handed. I don't look good doing it. Anyway, but yeah, pretty successful day. Not gonna have a lot of drone footage because I'll be honest with you, this is the first time this boat has been out that we've actually experienced some seat discomfort, so to speak. Seating position, the seats are awesome. The seating position for my son, a drone pilot, was not very favorable. We're gonna do some, I think we're gonna do some modifications coming up soon to this boat to make that more accommodating, because this is to take motors out of test. This isn't fishing and stuff, but this little trolling motor here, and I had fun fishing, just dinking around in it. The biminy's awesome, keeps the sun off of you. I mean, it's somebody who's putting together an economical John boat. This would be a way to go. It's plenty of fishing comfort. Top speed, heading into the wind, we hit 13. Top speed going with the wind, biminy up, was 15. Downstop 15. So that's about all she's got. This is a stainless steel 10-pitch prop on a 15 horse Johnson, wide open throttle. That's what we can get. And you know, we got 600 pounds worth of beef in here, plus about a 500-pound boat altogether. So it's I'm not dissatisfied with that. We run. It's running right there. It's like that far off the bottom on fuel, but we run about 3 gallons of fuel. We covered 18 miles, so we get about 6 miles a gallon, let's call it. And so, you know, I can't complain too much. We also did some trolling around with it. Just, that sailboat's moving, buddy. He's got some wind on him. Got some sailboat surfers out here. I don't see those out here too often, because usually it's not windy enough, but man, he's got to be doing 20. He'd outrun my boat right now. Wow. Going over, let's see if you guys can see it. It's probably pretty small. It's out that way. But yeah, they're zipping right along. That's gotta be fun. It almost looks like it could be raining over there. So anyway, so yeah, just wanted to close out this video going, you know, the 99 with the big secret, the most popular outboard on the channel is 100%. It's had some strange things happen over the last 3 years, and like that, the head gasket rotting out, blowing, without having run very much. It's just kind of weird, but she's high and tight now, buddy. I'll tell you what. You guys see it? It's just cute back there. I actually had to adjust it for a long shaft because that's what this was. The transom I built for this thing is working beautifully. It is rigid. I can hang a 50 on here, no problem, with a lot of confidence. Other than it'll be scary as hell. But other than that, I think it did. Now what's going on here is we're going up against and I'm gonna leave this rolling to see if we capture some of this. I might put you on the other one so you can see it better. The wind's blowing with us. We got rollers coming in behind us. I'm gonna be going up to a dock and then trying to back up. It's an easy situation where water can roll over the back. Literally at this speed, it's probably about 10 inches above the water on the back of the boat is off. And then when you go and put it up on the trailer, it tips it up even more. There's a good chance I'm gonna take some waves over the back, load it up, but that's not a big deal. It's a John boat. I pull the plug, drain it, we're good, right? We got some more stuff coming for you on some more outboard repairs. I can put a check mark on this bad boy now. The goal for this motor is to put it on the back of my big 22.5 foot or 21.5 foot Starcraft Highlander, and that was going to be a kicker motor for that, because the long shaft works good for a kicker motor because it gets you down a little further. You can still control it by doing one of these numbers and doing things. But yeah, pretty cool. This loads up. Sitting there idling, loads up a little bit. And like Like I was just telling my son, there's two different spark plugs you can put in these outboards. One's for trolling, low speed, it's a hotter plug, keeps it burned off better. And then there's for the high speed, there's a colder plug that works good for the high speed stuff that you're gonna run that a lot. So you gotta pick your poison on your spark plugs. But if you wanna know where to pick your two spark plugs, go to marineengine.com. They will have different spark plugs there and they'll have some descriptions on their parts list. So I'm gonna move you to the other side here. Let's see if we can catch a rogue wave. Oh, come on, here we go. Yep, there we go. I'm guessing it's gonna happen. I've been in this situation before where we were on the beach and I couldn't get off the beach because the wind was blowing so hard. And that's when I didn't have a motor that was starting and doing what, well, it's shallow, so it's in the mud, you can't do anything. And you try to push and start. Alright, we're gonna do a little speed run. Oh, he's getting the trailer so we can load up. We're gonna go into the wind first. With the wind. I think you can easily hit 16 just by yourself. Just configure ratio. Clouds are coming in quicker than I like. We're getting ready to put it up on the ramp here, on the boat on the trailer. See if I can get her guided in here without wrecking it. I'm glad I got the guide post today, that's for sure. The wind's taking it in about 15-degree angle here. Wow. I gotta tell you, the roller bump paid off today. That pushed up really easy. Now, you guys know me, I always will let her sit there and run and burn out the fuel that's in the carburetor so I don't store any fuel in the car. Johnson's will run a while on the car full of gas. Fortunately, no water's coming over the back yet. There she goes, she's done. Alright. Alright, we're getting out of the water. Sweet. Successful day finally with a good enough boat. Finally, I can close the chapter out on a Johnson 99 with Big Secret. Like I said, no secret, it's 15 horse, but it's, you know, it's finally performing like it should. Strange series of events over the years that have caused me to, you know, I haven't spent, you know, 3 years working on it, but every time I worked on it, it was like something else is a little different, something else is a little different. But so this is Michael saying, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is, and we'll see you on the next video. Treat each other like you want to be treated, and we'll talk to you later. Goodbye.
you.